Hey and welcome back. It's Saturday morning. I am suffering from man flu and I am locked away in my stock room instead of doing actual work. Let's see what we got in store for today. Okay, so the whole point of today's video is going to be to give you some top tips to everyone who's just starting out on Slimmer World to help make that journey a little bit easier for you. Number one on the agenda today is do not be afraid of the kitchen. Now, I'm a pretty good cook, I like to think, but I'm also a really, really lazy cook. If things aren't to hand, if I can't get it done within 15 to 20 minutes, I'm not really interested. Before I was on Slimmer World, I'd resorted to eating everything out of jars and packets, ready meals, anything that was convenient. Not only was it worse for me, not as good as all the healthy options that I could be making for myself, but it was also costing me a lot more just for the convenience. I was going out, I was paying through the nose for jars, for things that had already been cut up, for things that had already been made that I just needed to pop in the microwave. It was costing me a whole lot more than buying in fresh. There are so many excellent cookery books that you can get which are filled with all of the best recipes from Slimmer World. Now, some Slimmer World consultants might even let you, if you maybe can't afford to pick up the book, take a quick snap. I don't. Perhaps you shouldn't do that. Perhaps I shouldn't be telling you to do that. But just take a little sneaky snap on your phone if there's a really good recipe that you fancy and that you like the look of. But otherwise, try and help out your consultant by buying in those books. Now, I've got about 40 in my house, and there's always something that I can look to get something new and different. And that's the other good thing about not being afraid of the kitchen. You can make your food taste incredible, and you can make it yourself. And the effort that you put into making it is going to make you feel 10 times better when you get to sit down and eat it. The second little tip that I got for you today is once you sign up to your group, if you actually go in and weigh in at a group instead of being online, make sure you stick to it. Now, I have spoken about this previously, and it is so important to stick to your group. When you go in, when you get weighed, sit down and join in. I'm the weigh guy in my group, and I can tell you firsthand that the people who come and sit and stay in that group get better losses week on week to the people who come, weigh and leave. It's a fact. The inspiration that you'll get, the friends that you'll meet, that the camaraderie, still not entirely certain if I'm saying that right, the camaraderie of everybody there going through the same thing that you're going through, it really is a huge level of support. Take some time for you. It's just an hour out of your week. You've earned it. You deserve it. Put the kids away, put the job away, put life away, and go and sit in that group and have some time for you, because that is really going to motivate you and psych you up for the week ahead, and you are going to have a much better loss. And it's not just about being included, it's not just about being in a group, it's about picking things up. The amount of meals that I've made because somebody in group has had it and I've sat there thinking, oh my god, I really want to try that, is brilliant. You can get so much out of your group, so just make sure that you keep going to it. Tip number 3, keep looking at your book. When you've gone along and signed up, or if you haven't even done that yet, you are going to get a book. It's going to have loads of little things for you to look back on, to check out. It'll have all the information about your healthy choice. Oh man. It'll have all the information about your healthy choices, your sin allowances. There's a big handy bit at the back which literally runs through a huge amount of what you can and can't have in terms of sins and what the quantities are. There are loads of recipe ideas at the front, and it's where you're going to keep your week-to-week results when it comes to going on those scales. It is like a Bible. Treat it like it. Don't just think, okay, they've gone over it in the new members talk, I don't need to look at it again. Always look at it, always go back to it. I've been on Slimmer World now for nearly 2 years, and I will still reference back to my book, looking for ideas, looking for things, because up here I think that I know it all, and I don't know it all, and that is the problem that I come up against, is that I get too confident with it, too cocksure, that I think I've been doing this long enough, I know what I'm doing, and then sometimes I'll even get it wrong, and going back and refreshing myself through that book will really help. There is so much in it for such a small book. It really does cover all the bases. Using your book sort of runs into number 4, which is to make sure that you keep a good support network around you. There are Facebook groups, Instagram, Twitter, and the most important one of all is Lifeline Online. Now that is the Slimming World website/app that you can go to. Will have all your details in it, but also you got a huge amount of in values, healthy extra choices, tips, recipes, the works. You should be on there every day looking for sin allowances. Your book, as I've already said, is fantastic. It is brilliant to go back to, but a book is never going to be updated as much as a website is. But also, like I said, surround yourself by people who are going through the same thing. Come onto YouTube, watch videos, specifically mine. Go onto Instagram, follow people, specifically me. But always make sure that you've got people around you. If you know that other people are going through the same boat, if you know that they are going through the same thing that you are, you're going to feel more inspired to carry on, because you're not alone. You're really not alone. There are hundreds and thousands of us doing this with you. Tip number 5 is do not psych yourself out. I am so guilty about this in the past, not so much now because I'm trying to be perfect, but previously I would do things that would drive me mad. Stay off the bloody scales. When I was about a year into a group, I suddenly discovered my weigh-in scales that I would step on every morning, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and they absolutely mess with your mind. Now, I thought, first of all, this is going to be good. I'll step on these scales. They'll show me that I'm having a good week. I'll feel inspired to carry on. Now, up until this point, I only ever weighed when I stood on those scales on a Tuesday evening in group. But then all of a sudden it was, I don't know, Friday night, and I was stepping on the scales and I'd seen that I'd lost 3 pounds, and I was, yes, I'm heading for a good week. Oh, I can take my foot off the pedal a bit now. I'll have a couple of beers tonight, or I'll have a slice of cake. Absolutely terrible move, because once you start, anyone will tell you it's absolutely nightmarish trying to stop. And you don't psych yourself up. You don't go, yeah, I'm going to keep going, I'm doing so well. You do take your foot off the pedal. And likewise, when it's the other way and you think, oh my god, I've put £2 on, but I've been so good, you don't suddenly start fighting to be even better. You think, oh, bugger it, I'm going to have what I want. Shoveling food in is not good. There's very few people I've spoken to over any of my social media who say that they weigh and then feel brilliant about it afterwards. It's just not a good thing to do. So don't even start the habit. Put the scales in the bin, take the battery out of them, throw them in next door's garden so you don't have to deal with them, whatever. Just do not start weighing yourself. Secondly, and I have touched upon this on one of my recent videos, don't start focusing too much on the numbers. As soon as you start worrying about what the actual number is, instead of worrying whether or not you've actually lost weight, you're going to start feeling disappointed if you don't maintain those high numbers. It's inevitable. The amount of people who start off with £4, £5, £6 a week, and they're smashing it every single week, and then they go in and they only get £2 and they get it about it. I understand it, but it's so daft. Don't be devastated when you've lost weight, because that's what you're aiming to do. The other way that we start psyching ourselves out is we compare ourselves. Oh my god, I went into group on Thursday and Jenny lost £6. Why aren't I as good as Jenny? I feel like shit. Oh my god, I'm gonna and that's what it comes down to. You're not Jenny. Don't compare yourself to Jenny. You don't know what her journey is. You know what yours is. And you can only be you. You are just as awesome as Jenny, even if you're not losing as much weight as her. I don't even know who Jenny is. Don't compare yourself to Jenny. No Jennies. Just do you. Make sure that you go in, you smash it every single week, and it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Don't compare yourself to them. You're on your own journey. You do not know what theirs is. Next up, I think, is number 6. I had to stop because I had a sneezing fit and I don't remember where we are. So I'm going with number 6, whether it's number 6 or not. Keep your fridge and cupboards stocked. I'm guilty sometimes of letting my supplies run right down, and then when I want something to eat, there's either not something good there, or I end up going and buying something that I shouldn't, like a takeaway, because I can't be bothered to go down to the shop to get good food in. Always keep on top of everything. I've constantly these days got a cupboard full of spices, full of tins, full of dried food like pastas and rices and couscous. I've got a fridge now that's fully stocked with salad things. Make sure that you've always got the stuff in that you need. Be prepared, guys, because you can be caught unawares. You don't want to be sitting there really hungry with all the food left in your cupboard from before you started, and that's the only thing you've got left, and before you know it, you're making yourself burger and chips and eating 40,000 sins worth of crap. You can have burger and chips for free. It's in the Fakeaways book that I was talking about way back in the beginning. There is so many awesome meals that you can have, but you just got to make sure that you prepare yourself. The best prepared people are the people who are going to succeed the most. It's just a fact. And I don't know if that's some sort of proverb or if I just made it up, but it is the truth. So yeah, make sure that you keep fully stocked, one step ahead of the game at all times, and you will have the best chance of succeeding. Okay guys, I know that was a relatively quick one. It felt relatively quick, and I'm sorry if you're struggling to understand me. I am full up with a cold. I'm really feeling rough today, but I wanted to get this video done and out so that I can go home and go to bed and not wake up for another 3 days. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and if you have anything you'd like to add, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget, you can also share and subscribe.